having trouble with his Kimuras. He says that he goes for them, but he can only get them about 5% of the time. So if there's one thing that I can do well, it's straight arm locks and Kimuras from side control. So I'm going to show Robert, I'm going to show you how to increase your ability to hit Kimuras when you're training or when you're rolling. Robert, you're saying you're getting the side control, so I'm going to show you a setup that I like to use for later Rusan, that I like to use for this position. So we're here in side control. Two common places this guy's going to have his arm, either right here. If you're a white belt, a lot of times you'll get the white belt hug, which is where they do this, where guys just grab onto you. If you feel that, you should be like, yes, like happy, because again, this is not a good spot for his arms. His arms are coming away from his body, and this is an easy setup to this reverse position that I'm going to show you. Okay, second one, more commonly against a decent opponent, his elbows will be tucked in and it will be pushing against your neck trying to frame. And if this happens, we can still do this. We go away from the head, come under the elbow, and then we switch. Now, let's take a look at the actual switch of the position, and then we'll go back to the arm in just a second. So, no matter where the arms are, when I switch, when my hip switch, I want to bring my knee to the hip, and I want to lean forward. Now, right now, my actual hip is not on the mat. My knee is pressing in, my toes are pressed to the mat, and this foot's pressed in the mat, and I'm leaning forward. The pressure of my body is primarily focused on Chad's solar plexus right here. So I'm crunched in right there to stay very, very heavy. And this will allow me to attack the position. Here now. Now, let's take a look at the arm position, because this is where the magic happens for this particular move. So we're under here. Again, whether he's here or he's here, it doesn't matter. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to unlace the head, bring your elbow and the bend of your arm, and you want to catch his arm right, here's his elbow, slightly below, right where the bend of your arm is. And then from here, when we switch, I keep my arm up here, and a lot of times I'll grab onto the belt or I'll just cup the stomach. Now what this is doing is, this really limits the range of motion. So if your elbow is on the mat here, see how his arm can come up? His arm has a lot of motion that he can use. But when you cup and bring that hand here, his arm, go ahead and move it around all the way. That's all he's got, right? So very limited, and this really secures your position. So from here, we're crunched in. One, you can sit here and wait for his arm to try to pop out, and when it pops out, then we can grab it. But a lot of times guys, they feel it, they feel threatened, so they try to stay, defending. So from here, we just turn a little bit. Notice I'm not leaning back when I turn. I turn, leaning forward, looking at my toe, and that arm pops out. We get our double wrist lock. Now this is the most important part. Once you get the double wrist lock, you cannot let go of it. You get it and you hold it the whole time. Now we force this arm down. You have your option of a straight arm lock if he straightens out, okay? But for Kimuras, here's how we're gonna finish. We got our straight arm lock. Keep your elbow down to the mat to make sure that he doesn't bring his knee in the way. And then we switch our knee to the armpit, step over, boom. And then you have your basic arm Kimura from this north-south style position. So we're in side control here. Lock that hip, and we switch. Okay, holding the arm up so he can't move it. To get the arm, look down. See how that works? He's grabbing tight, and as I turn, look down, it pops out. Grab the wrist, grab your own wrist, elbow, switch, step over, pull up, boom. So Robert, I hope that the little trick there about, again, when you're trying to get that arm caught for the Kimura, switch to that reverse side control, reverse case gatami position, catch right, slightly above the elbow, so it limits the range of motion, and then secure that double wrist lock. And then again, once you secure that lock, do not let go, adjust your hips and move around as you need to finish it, but do not let go of it. And I hope that helps you increase your percentage of Kimuras when you're training.